Hi guys, this is a video about my custom designed and built stainless steel gaming case, which is quite small. I was looking for a new PC case and there are no small cases without restricting the CPU cooler height or the graphics card length, or they don't use a normal power supply. So I wanted to use big tower coolers, long graphics cards and also a normal power supply in the smallest possible box. And it's only 18 liters, which is really tiny, and it's got enough I/O as you can see, and it all looks quite modern, and that brushed look is quite nice. It also had to be quiet, so there are no dust filters or fan grills that are restrictive. Anything that anything filter like or a mesh that isn't open enough restricts airflow. So no dust filters and just wire mesh grills, as you see some pictures here. The parts inside are a Z97i mainboard with a Noctua cooler, mainly chosen for their compatibility with each other. Should allow me to get pretty, quiet results at some decent overclock. That's the idea. And there's 16 gigabytes of RAM on it. And for the graphics card I'm using a Gigabyte GTX 970. It's a decent value and I like the I/O quite a lot on it, and I removed the fans, as you can see, because the case fans will be cooling this, which will be more effective and a lot less noisy. So that's the plan. Power supply is also modified, of course. It's a G550M, which is alright, not the best, but it was quite noisy, so I replaced the fan. It's still driven by the PCB, so the fan speed is still controlled by the power supply itself. And the grill is removed, as you can see, for less noise. Single SSD is enough for me for now, but I can add a lot of drives later, as we will see. And an optical drive, every now and then you need it, so I wanted to have this one somewhere inside this case. Lots of I/O. This is a upgrade bracket that you can buy for numerous types of cases with a lot of wiring attached. Have to fiddle that into the case somehow, but we'll manage. Here are some other parts. These are brackets for the main board, and these are some fan brackets which they mount from the outside, which makes it easier to access the wiring and stuff inside. Brackets for the PCI card holding the graphics card in place, and two long sort of brackets for in the top of the case. Lots of screw thread is drilled into it. This is the top panel and a side panel, very shiny. It looks great, this brushed. What? Oh, I'm a child. This is the back panel and the front panel. Very shiny again, and oh man, so many bolts and nuts and washers and all that stuff required to do this build. But it's organized. But we are only organized if we've had coffee. Watch the bubble. Oh. The hard disks, this is bracket here, fast forwarding, 5 2.5 inch drives, or 2 3.5 inch and 1 2.5 inch, mounted on these soft rubber grommet thingies. So this whole hard disk tray is soft mounted, which should help a lot with reduction of the vibration. But all the mounting holes are just, as you can see here, in the bottom as well. So you can hard mount, if you're just using an SSD, which I am, hard mount it to the bottom of the case directly, or use this little tray. Pretty nice. So here I'm assembling the case step by step. So here the back panel goes on, then the front panel is attached. So there's screw thread in those brackets, making it very straightforward to mount. And out of focus, I'm not a pro. Here these brackets on the top and the bottom go in. And what's next? Oh yeah, the on-off switch has a nice feel to it and a built-in LED, and I soldered this to a connector so it fits to the main board directly. And here's that I/O again. Like I said, it's an upgrade bracket for an existing case, which happened to fit quite nicely with my plans, with the stainless steel bracket thingamajig, and putting it all together here inside the case with all that wiring still having to go somewhere. And here's the DVD drive installed as well, with some very small M2 screws from the bottom, but it fits very snugly, very good. Here's a fan grill for the front. Like I said, no filters and just this fan grill, which is the least restrictive, and I like the look of it quite a lot. So with some nuts on the other end, and it's all secure. And then in goes the power supply, which also has its fan grill removed for reduction in noise, and that fan is a lot better sounding than the stock one. So it's securely mounted with 4 screws, and that's that. So the main board goes in almost, but that I/O bracket is always a bit tricky, but luckily I had a good drawing to go by, and as you will see, it fits very well. So it's really quite professional looking, if I may say so. And the graphics card goes in, and you know, yes, very pleased. There are those notches on the end of the PCI brackets, and they fall into little grooves that I've made in the bracket, and it fits perfectly. It's very secure. It really cannot go anywhere, especially with this bracket that comes in from above, with a couple of bolts there, and then some bolts and nuts on the PCI card itself. This is super secure, really good. Very pleased with that. Woohoo! And now that this is inside, here's a shot at the back with some wiring already managed, kinda. We're not looking at this anyway. And I've attached all sorts of extra cables already on the main board, because when I'm finished there's no way to access it. So some extra serial ATA cables here for more hard disks, and all these wires have to go somewhere. Not the prettiest result. I could do better here. There is more room on the top left to hide all the cables, but it's not bad. It does the job, and with a bit of tidying up, it's quite nice. Lots of room there for hard disks, and all the power and SATA cables are already there, so it's easy to add those very quickly. So not the prettiest inside, but overall a success. And here's how it looks. And to get some idea of the size, how does it compare, for example, with an apple? Well, to be more precise, it's about 4 apples deep, and about, well, you can see there, about 3 apples in width. And perhaps a DVD is a good comparison. So on the top you can fit about 1 Bruce Springsteen, and then another Led Zeppelin after that, and that's about it. And vertically, well, if you put B.B. King vertically there and we put another Led Zeppelin on it, it doesn't fit. Why don't I just break out the ruler instead? So we're looking at a width of about 20 centimeters, which is about 7.9 inch. Depth of 32 centimeters, which is about 12.6 inch. And a height, including the feet, of about 31 centimeters or 12.2 inch. So reflecting on this all, literally, as I appear, it's been a super fun project to do, but it's cost me a lot of time and I learned a lot. It's great, but oh damn, it cost me about 500 euros to build. So I'm nuts, really, I'm nuts, I'm crazy. Well, then again, that's how I am, and it did turn out quite well, so I'm very pleased at the end with the result. I hope you like this as well. Leave a comment if you like it, anything I did wrong. See you later, guys. Bye bye. Thank you again.